Taylor Swift isn't just the biggest pop star on the planet. She's one of the richest women in entertainment history. In fact, in 2025, her net worth officially crossed the billion-dollar mark. And the way she built her empire might surprise you. This isn't just music money. This is a financial strategy that puts even Wall Street billionaires to shame. So, how rich is Taylor Swift really? Stick around because we're breaking down every stream of income that makes her a financial powerhouse. Music is where it all began. Taylor has sold over 200 million records worldwide and dominates streaming with billions of plays every year. Spotify alone brings her an estimated $100 million annually, and that's not counting Apple Music, YouTube, and vinyl sales. Her catalog is so powerful that when she re-released her old albums as Taylor's version, fans bought them all over again, boosting her fortune by tens of millions. Now pause and think about this. Most artists fade after one or two albums. Taylor, she's 17 years into her career and more popular than ever. Why? Because she turned her music into a living timeline. Fans don't just hear songs. They relive their teenage years, their heartbreaks, their friendships. That emotional hook makes every re-release feel brand new. It's the kind of loyalty most CEOs spend billions to create. And Taylor built it with a guitar and a pen. But the true gold mine? Her tour. The Eras Tour has been called the highest-grossing tour in music history, projected to bring in over $2 billion globally. To put that in perspective, that's more than the annual GDP of countries like Belize or Bhutan. On average, Taylor walks away with $10 to $13 million per concert after expenses. Let me put that in human terms. In just 3 hours of singing, she makes more than an average American household will earn in 200 lifetimes. That's not a typo. One show equals generational wealth, and the demand? Unreal. Ticketmaster literally crashed when tickets went live. Stadiums sell out in minutes. Scalpers resell tickets for thousands. And fans spend thousands more on hotels, travel, and merch. In fact, economists call it the Taylor Swift effect because her concerts boost local economies the way major sporting events or political summits do. That's billionaire impact. Merch is another secret weapon. From hoodies and vinyl bundles to limited edition jewelry, her brand moves product faster than luxury designers. Her merch lines alone bring in an estimated $200 to $300 million a year during tours. And when she drops surprise items, fans crash the website. But here's the key difference. Merch isn't just about money, it's about identity. When you see a fan wearing a Swiftie hoodie or trading friendship bracelets at concerts, you realize Taylor has turned her brand into a culture. It's the same principle that makes people line up for Jordans or buy Apple iPhones every year. The product is status, and in Taylor's case, that status equals community. Think about the scale. Even if just 1 out of 10 fans spends $100 on merch at her concert, in a stadium of 70,000 people, that's $7 million in one night, on top of ticket sales. No wonder merch is a cornerstone of her empire. But here's the genius move. Taylor doesn't just perform, she owns. After her masters were sold without her consent, she flipped the script by re-recording her entire catalog. This not only brought her hundreds of millions in new revenue, but also set a legal and cultural precedent in the music industry. Ownership is what makes billionaires. Jay-Z owns Roc Nation. Rihanna owns Fenty. Elon Musk owns Tesla and SpaceX shares. Taylor, she owns her music, her brand, her production company, and even her documentaries. That's why her wealth is bulletproof. Even if she stopped performing tomorrow, her catalog would keep earning her tens of millions every single year, forever. And the storytelling behind her ownership fight made fans even more loyal. Instead of being just music listeners, they felt like warriors supporting her mission. That's not just smart business, that's branding genius. Now let's talk real estate. Taylor's property portfolio is worth over $150 million. Her $50 million Tribeca compound in New York is practically a fortress. She owns a Rhode Island beach mansion, multiple Beverly Hills estates, and luxury Nashville properties. But here's the kicker. Taylor doesn't just buy homes, she invests in locations that appreciate massively over time. The Tribeca compound, now surrounded by billionaires and celebrities, skyrocketing in value every year. Her Rhode Island mansion, a prime coastline property that gets more valuable as supply shrinks. These aren't houses, they're assets, carefully chosen person like a Wall Street investor would pick stocks. Real estate gives her passive growth. While she's on stage performing, her properties are quietly adding millions to her balance sheet. That's why she's not just rich from music. She's rich from assets that grow while she sleeps. So where does that put her total fortune in 2025? Music royalties, about 150 million. Touring income, over the 600 million from the Eras tour alone. Merch and brand deals around the 350 million. Real estate portfolio, 150 million. Other business assets, over 100 million. Added up, Taylor Swift's net worth is officially estimated at $1.6 billion. That doesn't just make her a billionaire, it makes her one of the richest entertainers in history. And unlike other billionaires who built their fortunes on tech startups or Wall Street deals, Taylor built hers on creativity, strategy, and the devotion of her fans. What makes this even more impressive is how diversified her wealth really is. Most billionaires rely on one core business, like Jeff Bezos with Amazon or Elon Musk with Tesla. If that one company struggles, their fortune takes a hit. But Taylor, her empire is spread across multiple industries: music, film, real estate, retail, and branding. That makes her fortune stronger, safer, and more sustainable. She isn't just a celebrity anymore. She's the CEO of Taylor Swift Inc., a billion-dollar machine that continues to grow whether she's on stage or not. And here's the wild part: her future. Experts predict that if Taylor keeps this pace, she could double her wealth by 2030 ways. That's a net worth of over $3 billion. Think about that. In just 5 years, she went from superstar to billionaire. If she keeps scaling, she could go from billionaire to billionaire mogul in less than a decade. And we're not just talking about music. There are whispers of Taylor moving into film production, fashion lines, and even tech investments. With her influence, a Taylor Swift-backed company could instantly dominate its industry. Imagine a streaming platform curated by Taylor, or a billion-dollar fashion empire with her name on it. With her track record, it wouldn't just succeed, it would break records. To put this in perspective, in today's world, Rihanna used her Fenty brand to join the billionaire club. Kylie Jenner turned cosmetics into hundreds of millions. Oprah built her empire through media ownership. But Taylor Swift, she's already bigger than all of them in terms of cultural impact, and now she's racing toward their level of financial influence. If she chooses, she could easily become the next great business mogul, sitting at the table with Oprah, Rihanna, and maybe even some of the world's tech billionaires. But here's the twist. Taylor didn't need to invent software or build a rocket company. She turned art into an empire. Imagine this. One day, Taylor Swift might not just be competing with artists. She might be competing with corporations, a billion-dollar record label under her control, a fashion line that rivals Gucci, a streaming platform designed for artists. If she wanted, she could even buy an NFL team, and her fans would probably sell out the stadium just to support her. That's the scale of wealth we're talking about. Not just fame, not just music, but empire building on a level that very few in history have ever achieved. So, how rich is Taylor Swift? Rich enough to be called one of the most powerful women in the world, but smart enough to stay in control of her empire. She didn't inherit her fortune. She built it brick by brick, from writing songs as a teenager in her bedroom to filling stadiums, selling merch, and owning every part of her brand. And now I want to hear from you. Which part of Taylor's wealth impressed you the most? Her record-breaking tour, her billion-dollar music ownership, or her real estate empire? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, and subscribe to Stack Cred for more deep dives into the money behind the world's most powerful icons. Because if you want to learn wealth, you study the people who already built it.